afternoon.
Good afternoon. What can I do you for?
Sir, we're going to have an interview about child's development.
Okay.
Sir, please introduce yourself.
Je m'appelle Monsieur. Je parle tout français. My name is Bernardino Sivepalia. I'm a faculty at SNHS. The subjects that I handle are psychology subjects. I've been into education for about 19 years. I've been around, but basically most of my stay came from Pamangkasan. It's only last year that I returned here to Papua. That was only after that I finished my so, okay.
Sir, our first question is about what do you think are the best activities for a child to engage in or in for their body and brain development?
Okay. First is, yung child kasi, stages siya. So, prenatal, natal, childhood, adolescent, adult. For every stage of man's life, there would always be an appropriate activity in order for that person or that stage, in order for them to be engaged in order for the development to be in the most efficient way. Like for example, you know the reason why babies can talk still when they are released from the womb. Why is it that they can't talk? And the reason why? No, because if they can talk, they would surely make a lot of complaints. Why is it that they're inside the womb? No, just kidding. The reason is because in order for you to talk, the muscles from the tongue should be developed. Do you know that of all the mammals in the world, it is only man that needs to be taken care of, besides that of the joey, kangaroo, that needs to be taken care for at least a year for feeding and such. The rest of the mammals, number one, there are indicators. Let's say, when they are born, immediately in a snap, they should learn how to stand tall, walk, and run. Why? Because they will be eaten alive. It's only humans that when you can notice that when they're born, we still have to take care of them, cuddle them, and baby them. Now, are there important activities in every part of a man's life? There are, or woman for that matter. There are. But it has to be appropriately designed in order for them to really digest all these activities. Because some of these activities are really not appropriate because they would not be absorbed much by the child. Like for example, that we have said that why teach a child how to talk when the tongue has not yet been developed? So appropriate. But when they say that the child in the formative years of childhood, have you heard the one practice that they do about communication is that even though the child doesn't know how to talk the way we do, there is what we call the child talk. Have you heard about that? The child talk. Ang ibig sabihin nun is they make sign languages. Simple sign languages in order for them to be understood by the adult. They would understand it, they would comprehend it, but they don't know how to speak it out loud. But they know how to sign language. Not sign language, but to make the sign. So again, there are appropriate activities for every development in order for a child to learn. Like for example, sa mga teenagers, why is it that under your stage, that's the only time that you experience love and be loved? Because the type of love that you know would be different from the type of love that you were experiencing when you were a child. So given that stage, you can only experience so much when you're under that. Come here. What do you need? Kunay. So yun yung essence ng appropriateness of design. Appropriateness for better development. Okay?
Sir, what's your opinion about the children using gadgets instead of
It's just like this. Society now, have you heard of the evolutionary theory? The evolutionary theory would state that in order for man to move on to survive in the environment that they're living right now, they have to be adapted. Before, the reason why they were not using gadgets before, because gadgets were not invented before. So what would they do? So of course they would not use gadgets. And the reason why they would say that gadgets are no, it would deter learning and development, is because they are stuck with their age. So they would say something bad about it. But the fact that these gadgets are designed in order for learning to progress, why is it that you're thinking of deterring? Let's say, I know what the question is all about. There was a study made in the internet, di ba? Sabi, gadgets deterring, iPad, why should you not use? Mama Mia, that's the reason. If, for example, the iPad was not intended to be used by children, then why invent programs for children? Halimbawa ako, sabihin ko right now, that I learned something using those gadgets. Even my child is now learning how to play the piano. Not unless that your intention is bad in developing gadgets or developing programs, that the intention is for children to learn something bad. Let's say, for example, sasabihin, all the bad words that you should learn in English should be placed under, and then tama lang dapat ang pronunciation mo, dapat gagayahin mo. The intention is bad. But of all we know, the intention there is all good, di ba? Learning how to class, learning how to pronounce well, learning how to read, di ba? Ganun. The intention is there. So why say that it is deterring? Well, actually, it's not. Because you're only comparing your life before as to the life right now. Because we're adapting. Imagine, if I would be, ako, may mga anak ako, I'm not bragging, Ma'am, sino ba? Alabastro? Ma'am Alabastro, I'm not bragging, I'm Bernie, ah. Because during my childhood, I never experienced, I have nothing to say about my parents because they were really working hard. I have nothing to say about our state of life. Okay? That's not the issue. But the issue here is that when I was raised, I was looking at the window sill of our neighbor, hoping and praying that I will be able to play in the family computer. So now, what do I do? Meron akong perang konti, I'll buy them PS2. Yung isang araw, bumili ng LED TV na malaki. Tapos merong Xbox na lalaro, tag-iilan ng ano nila, tag-iisang PS2 at PSP. O di meron pa silang iPad mini, meron silang Nintendo, I'm not bragging na, meron silang, why? Wala na silang ibang gagawin, yun na lang eh. Kung papalaroin pa ko pa sa labas yun, di marami pa silang, meron pa ba naglalaro ng Chato ngayon? You know what Chato is? O yung Chato na, yun nga, that's my point exactly. How would you not let them play Tumbang Preso? Or Luksong Tinik? Wala na yun. Chinese Garden. Marami pong matututo. Madisgrasya pa sa labas yan. It's better for them to be inside my home. Again, that's the point of adoption. Yan na yan eh. And again, it increases my self-confidence of letting them buy something. Tsaka sila sasabihin, oh, kahapon naglalaro ko ng bagong application. Diba? Bata. So the confidence of them is different. So there's nothing wrong with it. Parehas lang naman yung lalaro. No, may libro ngayon, may libro wala. May libro, may gadget nun, may e-reader. Ngayon pa nga, mas lalong, diba? Deterring na isa. Next, your question.
I'm Chris Michael Gergon.
Nice to meet you.
Sir, our second question is about what is the role of intellect and senses in child's development?
Let's go first to the hierarchy. Have you heard of the saying that all knowledge in the world would come from our senses? Haven't heard that. Kasi in order for you to interpret, process, and all the things that needs to be done with the environment, it needs to pass through our senses. Just like, how would you know that the voice of Alicia Keys is beautiful if you haven't heard the voice of her? How would you know that the universe is a vast space if you haven't seen the stars? Yeah. Aristotle said that in order for knowledge to be placed, all things should pass through our senses. How would you know that eating, what's the snail in French?
Soup.
Ha? In French. Sa yung baba, umorder ka ng gano'n. Sabi mo, masarap yung gano'n sa French. Pero ano lang pala siya, kuhol. So, di ba gano'n? You would know how the taste because you would know how to process information because it has to pass through all the senses. Is it important for man's intellect and development? Yes. But, there's a difference between that of the application of the information that you have in you than just merely knowing all of these things. Well, let's say, for example, what's your course? Civil. 3 years from now, 4 years from now, maybe 5 years from now, your face, including the missiles taking the camera, your faces would be in front of the Intramuros wall saying that you're first placer, second placer, or vice versa. You have all the knowledge in the world. The question there is, what now? What is your intention after finishing and being the top of the food chain? Would you be just doing it for the glorification of the self? Or you would be returning back some of the favors to your mama who has bought you very beautiful rubber shoes? Diba? So what's the reason why this intellect is so important for you in order for you to be a better man? Because intellect is just pero nga nagsabi, what has happened to those people who has considered themselves to be the brightest persons in the world? You know the reason why Einstein came to America? He's one of the brightest minds, diba? You know the reason why Einstein came to America? Because he was being forced by Germany to build one of the most destructive force of all time. Kaya kinuha ng mga Amerika yan. Kinuha ng American. Tinakas yan from Turkey. Pinapag-aralan ni Einstein kung bakit merong solar lumbar, yung sa gilid ng sun. Tinakas yun galing Germany. Kaya yung mga matatalino nun galing Germany. Bakit? Kasi doon, before World War II, never to be atomic. Ay, hindi na nakuha. So that's the intention. Anong kagandahan na meron kang intellect and the senses niya? Sabi, how is it important for man's development? Siyempre, kapag wala you will not reach the fullest of your potential. Diba? Will you be staying here in Mapua if you have not yet developed the potential basic skills of being a civil engineer? And later on in life, you will be. Right? Tapos na? Yun na kagad? What else? So you should ask the next question. You know the reason why 7? That's a good question.
Why 7 years old is the age of reason?
Yeah. Because under this age of 7, hindi, yung formal education muna. You know what's reason? You know, basically what's the meaning of reason? Because reason can only be denoted if I ask you something and you made a decision. And you know that your decision is right and it is not wrong. So if I ask you, why is it that you did this thing? Anong gagawin mo? Ma? Explain. Explanation is reason. It's only in the age of 7 would a child comprehend what's right. Kasi inaalis na niya, dinadetach na sa sarili niya yung personal from what others. Di ba pag bata, sabihin na natin bata, hindi pa yung 7 years old, umuoo yan kahit nisan, sorry for the term, umuoo, mali yan. Hindi, kasi bata pa siya. Sumuka siya habang pinapag-burp mo, nagpulungad, mali ba yan, papapagalit? Hindi. Umihi yan ng di ba kaya nga nakagalit? Pero age of 7, nag-aaral na, biglang umihi sa harapan ng klase. Mali na yun, bakit? Hindi na nakaya. So yun na yung right, yun ang stage where they will now understand what is right and wrong. That's the reason why it's the age of reason. And that's also the reason why formal education starts at 6 na yun. Yeah? Lower na siya. Kasi maturity now progresses past Dati 7 eh. Yan, dati. Eh ngayon, hindi eh. Pero na, pinapag-aaral. Alam mo bakit pinapaaral na maaga? Eh, bakit pinapaaral na maaga? Para wala nang bantayan ng mga nanay ninyo. Alam mo kung bakit daw pinapaaral ng alas 7? Ang aga-aga, pumapasok ang bata. Naantok-antok pa yan eh, di ba? Yan, naantok-antok pa alas 7. Pero kailangan pumasok. Bakit?
Wala.
Para?
Hindi na kasi
Correct. Para kapag kagising ni mama, papasok siya ng trabaho, o ni papa,
kasabay ko.
kasabay, very good. Pagkasabay, drop off sa eskwela, alas 7, travel time, 1 hour, eksakto ka alas 8 sa bahay. That's the economics of education. Pero, kita mo ang tanong doon, bakit ang iba? Hindi naman nag-aaral. Kumukuha ng PPT test. Oh, makapasa rin naman sila ng high school. O tapos kung halimbawa sabihin ko sa inyo, lahat ng mga kilala ng mga successful na tao ngayon dito sa Pilipinas and around the world. Oh, even Bill Gates is considered a dropout. Kaya isang yung ginagamit mong iPhone. Even second year college, pwede kang maging presidente ng Pilipinas. Diba? So that's not the dilemma. That's what we call the irony of it. So ikaw, ako, sinasabi ko sa mga estudyante kapag gano'n, Sir, buti ba, siguro hindi huwag na lang ako mag-aaral. Sige, huwag ka mag-aaral. Dahil sasabihin ko doon, ilan lang ang percentage na hindi gumag-graduate at nagiging successful as compared to you. Ikaw, you have already greater chance. Right? Hindi, later on din eh. Ako naman na mag-i-interview sa inyo, sasabihin ko, pwede nyo bang i-design ng structure ng bahay ko para maging, ano siya, weatherproof, gano'n. Sana hindi nyo rin, pag nagpumunta ako sa inyo, papatuloy nyo rin ako kaagad ng gano'n. Diba? This is the way how you approach life and all these things. The knowledge that you have now, do you think that it will still be knowledge when you 10 years from now? Not anymore, di ba? Even Pluto is not anymore considered a planet now. But during our times, it was saying that not Pluto is the 9th planet. What's knowledge? What's instruction? So what's best here is know how to harness all the knowledge, all the things. It's the book of everybody for the betterment of it. You'll be a good man and a woman for that matter. Okay? So next time around, if somebody will ask for some favor, and you know that this favor is will be help for that person, the way that I have accepted you right now, you have to pay back. Okay? That's a deal, eh? Okay. Any more questions? Why? Why is it that you don't have any question? After all my lectures, be that in the grad school or undergrad, I always say that after a long lecture, why is it there are only two reasons why students never give questions. One, they understood everything, or two, I'm a dum-dum. Because you never understood anything. So what's your question? None. Oh, which among the two reasons? I'm a dum-dum. Oh, no. Okay? That's my friend. Sila, pabit. May girlfriend ka na ba? Ikaw, may boyfriend na? Bawal.
Bawal.
Bawal pa?
Bawal pa.
You live life loosely, ah. Oh, enjoy your stay in na po, ah. Okay, what year are you in?
First year, sir.
Oh, very good. Are you enjoying yourself in your first term? I know, this is already your second term.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
okay, very good. So the first time was just adjustment period. Now it's okay. You'll get the knack of it.
Yes, sir. But it's very fast.
What's the difference? Meron nagtatanong niya sa akin, Sir, ng quarter term sa ganun? Ay, nako. You do your math. Sabi kong ganun. You do your math. Semester, 16 weeks. You meet 3 hours a week. O, you do the math. 16 times 3.
48.
48, ha? Tayo, we meet 4.5 a week. 11 weeks. How many?
44.5.
Oh, sino mas madami? Sino mas madami?
Other.
Tayo! 54 tayo eh.
40.
Isang 40 ano lang eh, di ba? Tama. 4,450 tayo, di ba? Tapos yung isa,
44.5, sir, yung other.
yung ida tayo.
48?
Oh,
48.
lamang pa tayo ng 3 hours. Yan naman spacing. Wala yung spacing. Pagkagising mo susunod. And it has been hindi man siya full-proof, but it's ongoing with that system. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So you enjoy?
Yes,
Ha?
sir.
Sige, Mama, thank you for the shoes. How about you?
Sir, thank you for the time.
Pleasure is all mine.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ayan. A gentleman will always pag engineer ka na, ito tatandaan mo. Don't squeeze. Firm. 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 Very good. First one. And try not to miss. Firm. Okay, very good.